Jane Marsh, and it is my distinct pleasure to serve as your announcer and to welcome you to the Gold Coast Band's first concert of the 2023-24 season. Today's theme is Long Live the Arts, and this concert is a very special tribute in memory of and with gratitude to the late Mrs. Fern Spott. And now please, without further ado, please welcome our most talented artistic director and conductor, Barbara Rubenstein.
Good afternoon. Last season, we joined musical organizations around the world in showing our collective compassion for the suffering and senseless loss of life in the country of Ukraine by performing their national anthem, joining them in their quest for peace and freedom. In the past month, we have been devastated by the terrorist attacks occurring in Israel. Hatikvah, or The Hope, is the Israeli national anthem. Its lyrics are optimistic and uplifting, which is what we are all desiring for the nation at war. We enter this concert today following the words of the famous conductor Leonard Bernstein. This will be our reply to violence, to make music more intensely, more beautifully, more devotedly than ever before. Please rise as we play the national anthem of Ukraine and Israel, and then join us in singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
the Gold Coast Band. Her son Roger is our contrabass clarinet player, and in Fern's later years, she loved attending all his concerts so much that she made sure that when she passed, she gave a very generous contribution to the band. In appreciation of her gift, we dedicate this afternoon's concert to Mrs. Spott and all the arts that she enjoyed and loved during her lifetime. Born in 1923 in Terespol, Poland, Fern's passion for the arts during her 98 and a half years included not only classical music, but also dance, painting, Sousa marches, and hits of the big band era. Fern never complained and lived each day to the fullest. She was a brilliant example for how we should all age, with grace and humor. So as a tribute to Mrs. Spott, we are going to take a sentimental journey with Doris Day's first #1 hit that was recorded by composer Les Brown and performed with his Band of Renown in 1945. Join us as our celebration of the arts begins this afternoon with Sentimental Journey, featuring Mr. Steven Schwartz on the alto saxophone. Vienna, the Vienna Philharmonic Fanfare in 1924 for the first ever benefit ball held to raise funds for the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. It was played as all the honored guests arrived, and this benefit gala became an annual event, always featuring the performance of this regal fanfare that became a trademark of the illustrious Vienna Orchestra. The majestic composition has since become a favorite at numerous royal celebrations, including the coronation of Great Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla. And we thought it appropriate to memorialize our generous donor with this performance. The fanfare, originally composed for a 10-piece brass ensemble, has since been arranged for a variety of instrumentations. And Dr. Mark Decker, professor of music at Florida Atlantic University, has recently arranged this composition for a concert band. This afternoon, we are delighted to present only the second performance of Dr. Decker's arrangement for concert band. Please welcome to the podium Dr. Mark Decker, arranger of the Vienna Philharmonic Band. We know it is wonderful when we hear the lyrics to George and Ira Gershwin's popular song from 1927, It's Wonderful. It was introduced on stage by Adele Astaire in the Broadway musical Funny Face. and has been recorded by dozens of jazz artists since then, including Bing Crosby, Tony Bennett, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, and Harry Connick Jr., to name a few. This afternoon, I am thrilled to be singing this arrangement with the Gold Coast Band. And here is Wonderful. Duke Ellington, and the big band are often thought to be synonymous. And his style of music is definitely the style of music that Fern Spott enjoyed as a young woman. The big bands and the swing style of the jazz genre prevailed in the 1930s and 40s. Born in 1899, Duke Ellington began piano lessons at the age of 7, although he did not take them too seriously until he became inspired by what he heard from pool-room pianists. He composed his first song at the age of 14 and gradually began to form and compose with a small group of his friends, growing his musical career through as many performances and bookings as he could acquire. Famous for being a pianist, he is often, that's Ellington, Ellington is often considered one of the most well-known band leaders and jazz composers of his era, having written thousands of arrangements over his 50-year career. Our next selection for you is Duke Ellington in concert and includes his well-known tunes. I bet you could name them. Take the A Train, Don't Get Around Much Anymore, Moon Indigo, Caravan, and It Don't Mean a Thing if it ain't got that swing. We will explore her other passions, such as painting and dancing. Pictures at an exhibition is possibly the most famous composition of Russian composer Modest Mussorgsky. Originally, it was written as a piano suite in 1874. It did not gain popularity until Maurice Ravel arranged it for orchestra in 1922. This multi-movement work was written as a musical memorial to Mussorgsky's dear friend and artist, Victor Hartmann, whose paintings were on exhibit following Hartmann's early and sudden death. Mussorgsky chose 10 pieces of artwork to depict musically, each piece being introduced by a variation of the first movement, the promenade, that portrays Mussorgsky himself, a man of considerable volume, considerable size and volume, ambling through the exhibit, sometimes pausing in front of a particular picture. The irregular meter of the opening promenade is used to create this effect. In our arrangement, the promenade is only presented once at the very beginning. It will be followed by the hut, a very exciting and fast-moving movement that exemplifies the house of Baba Yaga from Russian folklore, a house that stood on chickens' feet. We'll see that in a while. The next painting in our musical excursion is The Old Castle. The alto saxophone solo, performed by Gary Wisdo, represents the troubadour performing in front of this medieval structure. In the next movement, you'll hear the oxen cart. The slow, laborious style portrays the oxen pulling a very heavy cart over a rocky gravel path. Hartmann, the artist, also was a costume designer. In the next picture, you'll see child dancers that are shown wearing egg costumes with their legs sticking out. So the ballet of the unhatched chicks. It was written in a light, detached, whimsical style. The final painting in our art gallery tour is The Great Gate of Kiev, or Kiev, that depicts Hartmann's design for the reconstruction of this ancient sculpture. The grandeur style of this movement by both Mussorgsky and Ravel is a musical tribute to the city of Kiev and its rich history. Please hold your applause between the movements as we move from painting to painting on our gallery tour of pictures at an exhibition. Among the various genres of music that we all enjoy, Sousa marches are often a favorite. Fairest of the Fair was written to honor the sponsors of the 1908 Boston Food Fair, where the Sousa Band played for many seasons, and it was the main attraction. The inspiration for this march was a very pretty girl, hence Fairest of the Fair. That's where the name came from, and this march is considered one of Sousa's most melodic. Please welcome Mr. Jim Sheldrake, a member of our concert Fanfare. A member of the concert trumpet section to the building as we present John Philip Sousa and his Fairest of the Fair in tribute to Mrs. Spott. Romeo and Juliet has been the inspiration for numerous projects, although it was Prokofiev who wrote the music for the ballet of the same name. It is the love theme from Tchaikovsky's orchestral work that has been the basis for countless choreographed dance performances and is far more familiar to most of us. Join us at the ballet as we present the love theme from Romeo and Juliet.
Thank you all so much for choosing to spend your Sunday afternoon with us. We hope you enjoyed our little trip down memory lane with our musical tribute to Fern Spott and our celebration of the arts. We hope that you will join us in December for our next concert, where we will be highlighting the holidays around the world. Sunday, December 3rd, right back here at 3 o'clock. We will be joined in that concert by the outstanding voices of the Robert Sharon Chorale, so you definitely do not want to miss that event. Can we have another round of applause for director and arranger, Dr. Mark Becker? Our guest conductor, Mr. Jim and our mistress of ceremonies and guest vocalist, Mrs. Boynton. I'm working hard to make this brief, but there are so many that need to be recognized for their contributions in making a performance like this possible. First of all, the Boynton Beach Community High School and all their staff, and band director Elena Scroggins for all of her assistance today. Elena? I want to thank Principal Dr. Moody Fuller. I believe he is in the audience, or at least he was in the audience, Dr. Fuller, and Assistant Principal Dr. Robert Baker for assisting our performances this year. And special thanks to Mr. Ransom Lucius, providing tech support and assisting with the visual enhancements in today's concert. Thank you. I also want to recognize the staff at the First Presbyterian Church of Boynton Beach, where we rehearse every Thursday. And if we didn't have that space to do that there, we wouldn't be here doing this for you today. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to the City of Boynton Beach, Mayor Ty Penseriga, along with the City Manager and City Commissioners, as well as Mr. Casey Young and the City's Recreation and Parks Department for their continued support and commitment to keeping the arts alive here in Boynton Beach. Our band's board of directors are listed in your programs. I'd like to ask that they, along with the many members of the entire Wilkie family who have assisted with everything this afternoon, please stand and be recognized. Certainly not least, what about these talented musicians on this stage? Thank you all again for your attendance and your support, and we hope to see you right back here December 3rd. Thank you.
Leroy Anderson is an American composer described by John Williams as one of the great American masters of light orchestral music. Most of Anderson's work was premiered by the Boston Pops Orchestra under the direction of Arthur Fiedler. Anderson's compositions are typically short, light concert pieces incorporating creative instrumental effects. Anderson viewed his composition, Belle of the Ball, as a modern-day American revival of the Viennese waltz tradition with a playful, fantasy-like character. The melody is rhythmic and comes in short groups of notes in an elegant fashion. The melody, as I just said, comes in short groups of notes in an elegant fashion. We chose this selection to conclude our musical tribute to Mrs. Fern Spott, who is truly the belle of our ball. plenty of time to get out of the building by 4:30. It's only 4:15, right? We've definitely got time for an encore. Would you like to hear Stars and Stripes Forever? Good evening, good afternoon. That's where you are. I guess. Thank you so much.